Hey, you. Welcome to or welcome back to Motivation Maven. I am Keisha and I am thrilled that you are tuned in this week. All right, I'm really excited and a little anxious because I'm excited about this week's topic. I've been waiting impatiently all week to be here in the studio recording this to share with all of you. Now, you may not know this, but I'm not batching these episodes. If you are new here, we used to be called Keisha's House Motivation and Inspiration. And I get up every single Monday, unless it's a holiday. So it's every Tuesday you know where I'm at, right? And I use motivation in just kind of situations that happened the week prior, and I bring them forward as really lessons learned. And very early on last week, I just got hit with confirmation after confirmation about the topic that we're going to discuss today. So, Motivation Maven episodes, they are sub episodes of the larger show, which is Preventive Mental Health, where we're focused and really intentional about tips and tricks when it comes to just preventative mental health. Because the reality is, life is going to happen. It's not a matter of if it's going to, but when. Because we can't slow life down. There's nobody on the planet, nobody can avoid a life event. We just have to be prepared for it. We prepare our bodies for a marathon, and well, life is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So, what I love about Motivation Maven episodes, again, like I said, they're released every single week, but I really believe there is power in words and there's power in quotes. And I like to have a specific quote every single week that I can just kind of lean on, learn from, meditate on, and just try to apply it in the week ahead. So I don't want to delay any further because like I said, I'm really excited about this topic. And I think it might be a little uncomfortable. So we'll see where we go here with this. But let me tell you a little bit about the confirmations that I had. We'll talk about the author of the quote, and then I'll actually share what the quote is. So, you ready? All right, let's go. So, very early on in the week, if you are one of those people that are like, listen, the week technically starts on a Sunday, this is for you. I personally like to think it's a Monday, but nonetheless. So, I was in church, and listen, if you're not a believer, don't worry. Nothing is going to strike from the sky. Like, you're going to be okay. Okay, just hold on. So while I was at church, and I also want to caveat and say motivation can be found anywhere, at any moment, in any situation. The question is, are we going to be open to hear it? Are we going to be open to seeing the lessons and hearing the lessons that are constantly around us? So while I was in church, I was listening to my pastor, and he made this comment. And he was saying how he was at a conference. And there was somebody there, obviously the same profession, who was, I guess, had like a mega church. Like it was just, they're just known all around the country. And this person mentioned to him and said, well, who do you aim to be? What are your goals in your career? And my pastor looked at this person and said, nobody. Nobody, because he just aims to be himself. So I'm going to pause there with that story because I'm going to come back to it. And again, I said that motivation can be found anywhere. So I was riding my Peloton later in the week, and I heard this song that I've never heard before. And there was a lyric in that song that I just kept listening to and listening to. In fact, I paused my workout to really think about what those lyrics said. And the lyric was this: I love myself enough for the both of us. And I'm going to pause there. See, in the first story I shared with you, that story resonated with me because for years, I would say, and I've said it, and you probably have too, where someone says, well, where do you want to be in 5 years with your career? And what do we often say? We say, I want to be in this position and I want to be like that person. Or you may have said this because I know I'm guilty of it. You may say, I want to be you. And I think that may be really flattering for someone. And he admitted that when he told this person, nobody, I don't aim to be anybody, he could tell that person was taken back a little bit. But now that I'm further on in my career, and I truly believe that every single year we just get more and more wisdom, I started realizing that I found myself, I'm not aiming to be like anyone else. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that you want to be like someone else. But I think there's something that's really free, liberating, when you recognize that I don't have to aim to be like anybody else. And this is why. My pastor and the pastor he was speaking to were both pastors. They were called to do and be in the profession they were in. Although they were different people with different personalities, different in styles, they were both called and found their purpose. In my profession, I can aim to be like someone, but the reality is they were called to be in the same exact profession that I am in. We are different people. We have different values. We are different in just many different ways, but we're both called to be there. And that may be the same true for you. Really, in any scenario, it makes sense. If you look at a singer, if you look at an athlete, I mean, my goodness, watch a football game. There's so many players on the field. Yes, they may be playing different positions. And trust me, every single one of them has a different story about how they got to that field. But do they really need to be wanting to be like another person? Because it's their unique journey. There was something about them specifically that got them there. Okay, yeah, I get it. Not every athlete makes the same amount of money. Not every athlete has the same endorsements. That can be said for every single profession. You have somebody who may be a plumber, and then you may have someone who also started off as a plumber, but now they own a business and they have other people working for them. We can aim to want or be where someone is. Now, listen to this. We can aim to be where they are, but we don't have to aim to be that person. There's a difference between a person and a position. There's a difference between the person and the position. Because I can aim for a position all day, but I don't have to be that same person. There's something unique about you. Because when you get to that position that person may be in, you may do things a little bit differently. But if you are aiming to be the person, that means you're going to do everything that they are doing. But the reality is you have a different worldview. You have a different style. You have a different way of just doing things. And that is okay. You know, sometimes I think that we forget that where we are today was once our dream. Where you are today was once your dream. I don't care what job you're in. You dreamed at some point to be there. And I get it. You may not be in what you think is your dream job right now. In fact, you may have had a dream and then life happened, because it's going to, and you had to pivot to something that you didn't even expect to be. But whether you're where you want to be, whether your career is going the way you want it to go, whether it's not going the way you want it to go, let's say you had some setbacks. The reality is the job that you're in, at some point you applied for it and you prayed for it and you wanted to be there. The school that you're enrolled in, at some point you put the application in and you were hoping to be accepted. Where we are at this very moment, there was a time that we hoped to be there. Regardless of the extra that was going on around us, we hoped to be there. We don't have to be like someone else to make it to the position we want to be. There's a difference between the person and the position. And then it brings me to the lyric of that song. It said, I will love me enough for the both of us. That is huge. As I literally stopped my workout and thought about those words, I started to smile. Because it's not easy to love yourself, and it's surely not easy enough to love yourself enough for someone else. See, what that said to me was there are going to be people in your life, they don't love you as much as you think they do. And the reality is, we are our own worst critics, so you may not even love yourself at this moment. But as you push yourself to progress, as you strive, because I'm going to tell you, it takes time. You may find yourself realizing that you may not treat me with respect. You may not love me the way you should. You may not believe in my goals and my hopes and my dreams, but I'm going to love me enough for the both of us. That's so cool. And I'm telling you, when you get to that point where you love yourself, and when you get to the point where you not only love yourself, but you can love yourself and not have to worry about the validation of anyone else around you, again, that's liberating. And you can't help. I'm telling you, I challenge you, love yourself that much. It's hard not to smile. Because it doesn't matter if everybody gets it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you can love yourself enough. Because you are enough. I say it all the time here. You are worthy of the life that you want to live. And I say that because I'm going to say it until you believe it. Because I know I had to say it a lot until I believed it. You don't have to aim to be the person. Because the person and the position are different. And when you love yourself and other people don't love you the same, you can love yourself enough for that person. And this is what got me to the point where I felt like this was tested. You know, as a mom, and there's tons of memes and videos out there, there's just something about a mom. There's something about a wife that nobody else in the house can find something. But as soon as the mom goes in the room, they're like, it's right there. Right? I'm sure all of you seen those commercials and those videos, right? Where they now are calling other people and saying, my wife won't help me find something in the fridge because she's sick and tired of helping me find it, right? And you may not have seen this, but the video, and they're saying, well, where is it? And the joke is they say, well, is somebody close to their wife? Can they look? And the wife's like, it's right there. This was one of those moments. So again, I'm on my workout bike and I enjoy my daily workouts. I mean, it could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or even 5 minutes, whatever amount of time that I'm on that bike, that is my me time. So I'm getting on the bike. I'm pedaling. I'm loving the music I'm in it. And here comes my son, my oldest son, and I can hear him trying to get my attention. I take one of my earbuds out and I'm like, what's up, buddy? And he's like, I can't find my basketball jersey. Now, mind you, isn't it ironic that everyone always tries to find everything about 2 hours before we need to head out the door? Now we're all struggling to just get everything together. And I'm like, what do you mean? You do not know where your basketball jersey is. So I'm still pedaling and I'm trying to throw out ideas. Okay, did you check here? Did you check there? Yep, I can't find it. I can't find it. I can't find it. And I am literally about to stop the bike to go look for this. And I said, nope, I'm going to love myself enough for the both of us, because self-care is not selfish. This is my time that I designated for myself. It is okay, because when this workout is over, I can go look for these items, but I'm not getting off this bike. So I said that to myself the first time, and I put the earbuds back in my ear and I said, I'll help you when I'm done. And then I see the distractions. I see that he can't find it. My husband can't find it. Everyone's walking around me, and I'm having this internal struggle. And I literally start to find myself slowing down the bike. And I had to keep telling myself, I love me enough for the both of us. I love me. Believe me, the bike was slowing down and I stayed. And what happened? About 5 minutes before my workout ended, the exact place I told someone to go look for their uniform, it was there. It was there. And that got me to thinking, when we're in a situation and we are focusing on ourselves, whether you're going to school, whether you have just a personal goal, might be a workout goal, whether you've taken up a new hobby, whether you've just decided, you know what, I'm going to just take some time to be quiet. Our goals and our time and our plans, they get interrupted. And the question is, are we going to allow life to distract us? Or are we going to keep pedaling? Because I literally slowed down my bike because I was going to get off of it. And I had to fight through the self-doubt. I had to fight through the frustrations. I had to fight through all of the self-talk that was going on in my mind just to keep pedaling. That's exactly what life is like. Because as soon as we decide to focus on ourselves, life happens and we start to doubt. We start to doubt that if we're important enough to continue to press forward in whatever endeavor that we are on, so we can help everyone around us. Because if you're anything like me, and I have a feeling you are, you're willing to drop everything to help everyone else, and you are last. You put yourself last. In this coming week, I want you to focus on putting yourself first. So the author of our quote today is Robert Holden. He is in England. He's well known and the creator of the Happiness Project. There's a couple happiness projects out there, but he's the creator of it. I'll put his link below to his website. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. I'm not sponsoring him, but I like what he does. He is a psychologist, a PhD, and his quote is the following: your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. It's not just about loving yourself. And I promise you, it's not selfish. Because when you are able to respect yourself, when you're able to love yourself, when you're able to commit time to yourself, it's going to affect every other relationship in your life. Everyone. It's either going to be positive or it's going to be negative. But the choice is going to have to be up to you. Because when you find that you have no time for yourself, it's very easy to start to get frustrated with the people around you because you feel burned out. You feel overwhelmed. You feel unsupported. You feel unseen. You feel unheard. But if you could find that time for yourself to decompress, to focus, to build your strength so you could prepare for the day ahead, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. And I say it all the time. Nothing that we talk about here at Motivation Maven, nothing that we've talked about for the last 2 years at Keisha's House Motivation and Inspiration is easy. I say it every single week. It's not easy. I know. And only you can make the decision. But I promise you, when you decide to keep pedaling, it changes everything. So that's your challenge this week. This week, I want you to love yourself enough for everyone. For this week, I don't want you to have to focus on being someone else. This week, I want you to remember the quote that your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. The relationship with yourself matters. Take time for you this week. Till next time, remember, you are always worthy of the life that you want to live. Have an amazing week.